My first interaction with United Way was a unique one. A few years ago, I was sitting at our company's campaign meeting, and I'm listening to the stories and everybody talking about why we should donate to the United Way. At that time, my youngest daughter was in a hospital, just trying to recover from mental illness. Mental illness is not something you can actually recover from, but she had bouts of depression, anxiety, self-harm. She was recently in the hospital due to a third, maybe it was a fourth, attempt at suicide. And I was sitting there listening to these stories, wondering, how is this affecting me? And then it wasn't until a few months later that we were working with some agencies in town, National Alliance for Mental Illness and Mental Health America. And it wasn't until working with them after a few months that I realized they were a United Way agency. And it finally all just came together that the United Way helps so many people. It's not just a select few, or it's not just a certain demographic. It can be anybody. My interaction with Mental Health America was at one particular time when Sarah had a bad situation. She tried to commit suicide one afternoon, called me in a panic, and I was beside myself. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to help her at the time. So I was at work, and I get in the car, and I'm thinking, I can't get home. I was that frazzled. You think about your child and, not wanting to live anymore, what you can do for them. And I remember sitting in the car thinking, okay, what can I do? Who can I call? What kind of help can I get? So I Googled suicide hotline, not for me, but for her. But then I got to thinking it was for me. So when I called and that person picked up the phone, how may I help you? That was the first thing they said, how may I help you? It wasn't, can I have your name? Can I have your primary care provider? We can see you a week from Friday. It wasn't all these questions. It was one particular question. And I told them, I said, I'm a parent. I need help with my child. And the first things after that were, is she safe? Is she in a position where she can't harm herself or anyone else right now? When I could answer yes to both of those, she said, okay, let's talk. She didn't ask my name. She didn't ask me anything else, just how can I help? And had the funding not been there, there may not have been somebody on the other end of that line when I called needing help. And when I finally put two and two together, that's where the money goes. That's the agency that is helping my family out. It was a no-brainer for me to continue pledging and donating to the United Way. If someone has never given to the United Way before, whether it be time, talent, or dollars, why haven't you given? Whether it's $1, whether it's $1,000, whether it's $10,000, it's a small price to pay for someone else's happiness, for someone else's ability to lead a better life. I think the role of the United Way in the Lafayette community is one that brings people and resources and organizations together for the greater good of the community. It's not just one facet in the community, it's the entire community.